Hey guys, Greg here, Bone Tactical. Today I'm going to give you the full review on this Armasight Sidekick 640 19mm. This is going to be your top of the line budget friendly thermal monocular on the market. Before we get started, I'll just let you know that it's probably the best you can get for the price. But I'm going to tell you in this video everything you need to know if you're looking at purchasing one of these that is not shared on the website and that's not being shared elsewhere. So this information that I'm going to share in this video, again, is stuff that you can get only from Bone Tactical. That's the kind of stuff I like to share. Hands-on, experience-based information that will add value to my subscribers, right? And let me start off by saying what is a thermal monocular. Then I'll talk about why you may need one and briefly, and I'll discuss exactly why, if you do feel like you need one, this one is either going to be right for you or not. So a thermal monocular is often confused with night vision and often considered night vision. What a conundrum. But a thermal monocular is to be used at night, but it's not night vision. There's a lot of night vision monoculars or goggles now that have thermal technology built in. This is not one of them. This is a designated thermal monocular. Thermal technology in this case refers to a device that is designed to pick up heat signatures, right? Heat energy or infrared radiation, if we want to get really technical. And it basically converts that into an image using the internal software and sensor that on a little screen in there, it puts the image for the eye to pick up. So then it's like basically sensing a spectrum of light that the human eye can't pick up. So if you look at the actual spectrum, the light spectrum, the human eye is only able to pick up actually a small percentage of the light spectrum. There's a lot of stuff going around us all the time that we can't see. This picks up on that spectrum, converts it into basically an image on a little screen that our eye can see within spectrums of light. So you can adjust within this particular one. It's really cool because it has a lot of modes. It has like a rainbow mode, which is almost useless as far as using it, but it's cool. And then it has, you know, your standard, the white mode, and then it has a target mode that has basically a black based mode, and I prefer the black based mode, but the target mode is cool because it'll show reds, and though that's temperature variations. Your yellow and stuff like that is your lower temperatures all the way up to your higher temperatures. Can be super useful if you're doing some type of observation, especially with vehicles, because you can see if there's like vehicles around parked, they're not supposed to have been moved or anything like that, or, you know, potential type ambush situations, either that or recon for, you know, seeing which vehicles have been moved recently and stuff like that. You can tell by the heat signature of the vehicle, right? As far as who might need one of these, it's not super navigable. We did that in a previous video. It's not going to be something you want to use standalone to be going around and navigating at night with. It's very specifically either for maybe like a security personnel on a compound who might want to pull it out and just do a thermal check. It's going to be for people who probably can't afford a full night vision system of goggles that has thermals in it, because we're talking about just massive differences in prices. I mean, just insanely high prices, 10 times more, 100 times more for like the elite systems of night vision that contain thermal technology built in. So this is going to be a thermal. What a lot of guys will do, they'll run an Armasight PVS 14 on one side, which is going to be your true night vision, and then they'll run this on the other side. So you can switch, you can use one eye, you know, at times, or, you know, however you want to do it. But you can be navigating with the PVS 14 or walking or whatever you need to do, moving. And then if you need to do a search, any kind of recon or escape and evasion techniques to where you're going to be like actually trying to, before you enter an area, see if there's any heat signatures, or if you're compound security, like I say, now that we understand who might be able to use it, now that we understand basically what it is, right? The issues that I personally came up with and had using this were actually pretty profound, I would say. A lot of issues, but I'm still saying that it's the best option for the price point, right? Because the technology is what it is. If you're like a hog hunter or something and you can sit, or any kind of a hunter really, it can be incredible for hunting. It's just highly specified what its potential use is. The issues that I had were the distance issues. I was moving in a boat when I was testing it, so I don't know for sure if movement affects that. Like I say, I wouldn't recommend getting it for use while moving. It's definitely something I would want to stop and set up with to use. Takes a little bit of getting used to, but so does any kind of a night vision system. You have to get used to it before it's even useful, because you're used to not being able to see at night. So you have a whole different set of navigational skills and then perceptional. So you have to adjust you have to learn how to be able to perceive better with this before, and then how the settings and everything works. Setting it up and all that, which we did a video on the setup already. So, I would say that maybe 100 yards is like the maximum that I would really pick up heat signatures. I was trying to pick it up at a couple hundred yards, and I was getting nothing. I was in a dark area, and there was like I was in a boat in a bay, and there was a couple hundred yards away, there was a walkway, and there was like street lights, and I was watching a person walk down the walkway along the bay, and they would walk, I could see them because they would go under a street light, and then it would be dark for a bit, and then the next street light. And I was trying to track them and I was looking at them with this, and it wasn't picking up a heat signature at all at a couple hundred yards. Then I went a little closer, went into like a marina at night, and there was a security guard that was patrolling the marina in his vehicle. And I saw him from a good distance coming by, because there's a bunch of vehicles there and none of them were throwing a heat signature. And then all of a sudden, boom, on target mode, this really bright pickup truck shows all of the engine heat. So that was pretty awesome. So at that level of closeness, and it would have been difficult probably to see that, especially if the guy didn't have his lights on. A vehicle could have been slowly like rolling up in the dark, and I probably wouldn't have seen it from that distance, but it was like having a spotlight on it with this thing. So that was the good and the bad of that. And then, so, stationary is good. With movement, it's not good. Long distance, it's not necessarily so great. I was picking up some heat signatures at the distance that I'm talking about, but they were lights. So like at 500 yards, I was picking up heat signatures, but they were lights. So I could see a light bulb on this at 500 yards, but I was like, well, I mean, it's a light bulb. I can see it with my bare eyes. I don't know. So I would say distance is not necessarily the strong point of this, yet it can be used. Another drawback that's with this type of thermal is that you can't see through glass. So anytime, if you're in a vehicle, the glass actually reflects. The windshield will reflect any kind of glass, any window in a building. So it's not like you can see through glass, which can be, you have to know that, because if you're thinking, oh, I'm looking through this window and there's no heat signature, so there's nobody in the room, if you're in a tactical situation, that's a very grave error. You go into the room, and if it's an armed person or something, then you're in a big problem. So that's kind of I would say those are the ups and downs of it. I don't want to share information anybody can share, so I'm sharing all of the point. Like what I'm discussing with this in particular right now is the stuff that you can't read on the website, that other people aren't sharing. You don't find other videos discussing these points. You don't find other people testing this. Nobody's tested this yet in extreme circumstances like I have. Check out that video if you haven't. I literally could have died in the making of the video. Nowhere close to any kind of a joke. The conditions I went out in boating were, captains were commenting on. I had a TikTok of the video go viral of me going out into the inlet, and I hit the inlet, and it was right after a hurricane, and it was just insane. The conditions got insane. Luckily, I'm experienced, but I was solo boating. Then I went out and did a solo scuba dive. So I did some diving in zero visibility conditions by myself, extremely dangerous. The boat drifted a couple miles while I was down, so I had to swim a couple miles through riptide to get back to the boat. Just, it's crazy, right? I enjoy challenging myself, and it's probably a little stupid sometimes. Every time I do something and almost die, I say I'm never going to do it again. But I don't recommend any of that. I'm just saying I think it's cool that I can share stuff like that nobody else is going to do, obviously. And going out at night, full speed with the boat, driving the boat with just this, right? If I would have hit anything in the water, doing 40 miles an hour at night, middle of the night, pitch black conditions, navigating only with the monocular. Yes, it was doable, but I would just say it was extremely dangerous. At one point in time, the software in here glitched, and I was recording. And when you're recording with this, the speed between the processing speed between it actually doing its detecting and then converting it to an image that your eye can see is a lot slower. It glitches more, and there was a glitch right when I was coming up to a pylon or a marker, channel marker, and I barely saw it in time because of the glitch. So it was like I was seeing far away, and then all of a sudden it glitched. It was stuck, and then as soon as it reset again and was showing a picture again, the channel marker was right there, and I had to swing the boat and come around. And when you steer a boat, then you still have the rear end. Boats steer from the rear, most of them. The motor's in the back. Cars steer from the front because the front is where the tires are. So you always have that risk of the back coming around. So everybody thinks, oh well, you have to hit something with a boat dead on, like you do in a car, for it to be dangerous. That's not necessarily the case. A lot of times, somebody will see something last minute, try to turn the boat, and at full speed, you're slamming the side of the boat into whatever it is, and then those conditions, captain gets thrown from the boat, passenger gets thrown from the boat into the piling is very, very possible, or into something else hard, or hitting your head on the way down and drowning, any kind of stuff like that. So anyway. Navigable, I would go ahead and say that it's not, if you had to do it, it could be navigable, but I'm going to go ahead and say it's not something that I would recommend. I did it, and for a highly experienced person in an extremely, if you're very skilled already as it is, proprioceptional skills, navigational skills, athletic, and you're in a life or death situation, you had no other option, you had to use this to survive, it could be used. It's not the best bet if that's what you're buying it for, but what it is really good for at the price point is being able to pick up heat signatures at night. And I would recommend it from, like I say, from a stationary position. In full disclosure, I'm not being paid for this video. I am contracted. I have a contract with Armasight that I'm going to make a certain amount of videos for them. We did have some issues getting off. We got off to a little bit of a rough start because they ran out of stock on these, and then they just kind of I guess they were overseas, some of the guys that I had contact with, and then their marketing guy just kind of told me, hey, sorry, I can't get you on. They're sold out. They can't even get them to their customers. And so I didn't hear from them for a while. I sent everybody at Armasight an email because my main contact guy was their marketing person. And I sent everybody an email and said, look, I'm either going to do these videos or I'm not. I'm running out of time because I'm going to be overseas. And then this particular night vision part of the contract was that I couldn't take it overseas because it's such a controlled device. The U.S. government doesn't want it getting out of the U.S. So I was like, all right, I'm not gonna have a chance to make these videos. And they got back to me and sent it to me last minute. So technically the contract's void because the last thing that I told them was, hey, we're canceling out this contract. So I'm just doing these. They did send me the night vision, and so I'm doing night vision thermal. They sent me the thermal monocular. So I'm doing these videos because I'm a man of my word. So I'm making these videos for them. And I told them straight up, I'm going to be 100% honest. And I do really like the company. When I finally got a hold of somebody at the company, not the marketing middleman, they were great. Their customer service is great. They do a really good job. And they're American company, so I really do like the company and what they stand for. I don't want you guys to think that I'm bashing them in any way. And I started off the video saying that this is the best budget thermal optic or monocular, the best budget thermal monocular on the market. It would stand to reason that the rest of their stuff would, rifle optics and stuff like that, thermal scopes that they have for anything that they're making their product line would be similar, if not the same. So I support them, and I'm not trashing them in any way, but I have to make these reviews as 100% honest as possible too. And if I say that, this thing failed at this, failed at that, failed at the other, it's not what it's designed for, right? So I'm telling you what it's designed for, and what it is designed for, it's great at. It's a thermal optic. It works properly if you use it properly. Just know before you purchase it, you have to know its limitations, and that's it. Thanks for watching. Please, like I say, let me know what you want to see more of so I keep the videos coming. If you don't like them, comment below and say, don't make any more of this, make some more of that. I know I got some fans and followers out there. You know, we're getting close to 200,000 subscribers at the point of making this video. I do this for you guys. I'm not just saying that. So get involved with the channel, you guys who are watching this. We're a community. We have a chance to do great things here. This is free information that I can share. I have an extensive knowledge base that really, we all have our individual knowledge base that nobody else has. Mine is highly specialized, and I really enjoy trying to help others not make the same mistakes in life that I've made and not have to learn the lessons I've learned the hard way. So I have a very unique perspective that I can share with you guys. And the way that you can really fully access that is by leaving a comment and telling me what you want to see so you can benefit from future videos that are tailored to you. Thanks for watching. Bone out.